All right, this is file number 252565FY, People versus James Clark. Charged with tampering with evidence. There were several of these defendants charged in this manner from an incident that happened at the Harvey House bar last May 3rd of 2025. This charge, let me pull it up here, alleges that on May 3rd in the village of Constantine that you did knowingly and intentionally remove, alter, conceal, destroy, or otherwise tamper with evidence offered in an official proceeding. The way that is charged, that's a felony punishable by up to 4 years and a fine of up to $5,000. Mr. Gabriel, what's the circumstance here?
Your Honor, somewhat novel. Just indicate to the court that Mr. Clark and later this morning, Ms. Willis are both been charged with this tampering. It involves the removal of the firearm from the scene of the shooting that occurred at the Harvey House. So the statute seems to totally fit the facts. However, they weren't involved in the actual physical altercation. At least Mr. Clark thus far has agreed to cooperate fully with the prosecution of the 3 individuals that I have charged with physically assaulting the individual who's now in prison for shooting some people. So what I'm doing is offering him an opportunity to enter a plea to attempted resisting or obstruction the police officer. It would be Officer Drew Hall, who was the main officer handling the shooting. I did defer sentencing for 6 months. During that time period, Mr. Clark, through the assistance of his attorney, will cooperate fully in the prosecution of the other 2 Mr. Clarks, and I can't remember the name of the third. All of those individuals are charged with aggravated domestic violence. And we anticipate those will be resolved shortly afterwards, so that all goes well. Within the next 6 months, we'll be moving to dismiss the case.
All right.
We do have the gun back. It was provided to us by the second individuals that gained access to it.
Laura, could you help me with something? All right, that's a lot to unpack. Now let's try it. If Miss Willis was here, I wouldn't have to do this twice. Would you make me several copies of this? Sure. What you're charged with is a felony, punishable by up to 4 years in prison and a fine of up to $5,000. According to Mr. Gabriel, what you're alleged to do closely fits the statute. However, they're willing to dismiss the felony charge for a plea to a misdemeanor charge of attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer. Attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 1 year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. They're also agreeing to defer this for 6 months under the deferral statute. There's a specific order, which I'm going to use here, Judge Pattison provided to me last year, where I will show that you enter a plea of guilty and set the sentence out for 6 months. If you cooperate with testimony and otherwise meet your obligations, if you don't get in any other criminal trouble, the charge would be envisioned to be dismissed by the prosecutor. Ms. Harden, is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that yours, Mr. Clark, as well? You provided me with a written waiver of your rights, but you were also in here when I went through the rights and heard me go through them. Do you understand by entering this plea, you're giving up your rights to have a trial?
Yes.
Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to this?
No.
Or promise anything?
Kind of. I mean, just promise it'll be dismissed.
All right. Now, in the context of this case, I did, in a prelim or some other hearing, see the video of this incident in the bar. There were a couple different angles of it. And so were you at the Harvey House bar that day, May 3rd?
Yeah.
And a scuffle broke out between 2 different factions. And I'm not sure which faction you were in, but were there shots fired there in the bar?
Yes.
And somehow did you become in possession of this gun that was used?
Yeah, while a couple people were scuffling, I ran over and took the gun from 'em.
All right, and what did you do with it?
I basically took it outside and freaking out and just gave it to Mrs. Willis, who at the time I didn't know that's who it was.
All right, so you took a piece of evidence from the crime scene and took it outside and gave it to somebody else?
Yeah,
All right, that's probably sufficient. Are you satisfied with that, Mr.?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
Miss Harden?
That's a factual basis, Your Honor.
All right, well, let's pick a date. Today is January 27th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take us to July 27th. I don't know if I'm here that day.
It's our hope, Your Honor, that the other cases will be resolved and my client's cooperation will be completed by that time. And it'd be my assumption that if the prosecution has everything they need, they would dismiss without hearing. So if the court needs to adjourn that date, just to kind of
All right,
lock
we'll
it
set it
in.
for July 27th,
7/27.
26 at 10:30. I'll do a deferral order
Thank you.
in there. Does that finish your obligations here this morning?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you so much.
All right, I'll see you next week. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Gabriel.
Thank you.
And the
Your Honor.
same offer applies in Miss Willis?
It will. Mr. Davison is talking with her. I think he's still talking with her.
All right,
Mr. Clark's good to go?
yes, he is. Mr. Clark, your bonds continued. It's $2,000 PR bond. All the conditions that were in effect remain in effect. All right.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Rainey.
Morning.
This is Judge Middleton. I'm here. Your lawyer, Jordan Harden, happens to be here on some other matters, so I asked her to sit in here. You got arrested last night on a bench warrant for failing to appear for sentencing on a malicious destruction of property charge. That file is 25838 SM. How did you come to get arrested last night?
I was just walking to the store, about to go get
What
something. to
town?
eat. In Sturgis.
You also failed to appear in circuit court.
It's hard for me to get a
Judge
ride.
Stutzman will probably see you later today. That's on obstruction of justice. That's probably a fail to pay, but you have a hold from circuit court. That is in file number 152025 SM. As I indicated, Ms. Harden is here on another matter, and rather than all of the public defender is here also. I checked with her to see when she's next available, and she's not available till next Tuesday morning. So let's take a look at that. That would be February 3rd. Jordan, there aren't a terribly large amount of cases for next Tuesday.
No, I got hammered with the misdemeanors, not so much the felonies.
How Elizabeth Conway is also set. Maybe that got moved. Conway, maybe she got moved. How about 10 o'clock on Tuesday, February 3rd?
That should work, Your Honor.
That'll give an opportunity for the prosecutor to be heard. So for sentence Tuesday, February 10th at 10 a.m.
Third.
February 3rd at 10 a.m., not the 10th at 3 a.m. Mr. Rainey, you treat your court dates more of a suggestion than a mandate to appear. This case is full of you failing to appear. You didn't appear in circuit court, you didn't appear here. We're gonna reset the matter for sentencing. When you pled guilty, you no longer have a presumption of innocence. So you've been found guilty and I just haven't done the sentence. So I'm gonna set this for sentence next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Your bond is canceled. So I'm gonna hold on to you. Judge Stutzman may see you later today on his case.
We're planning to address the warrants this morning while I'm here.
All right, Miss Yancey's gonna deal with that also. She gives good service. All right, I'll see you next Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
All right.